UFC Vegas 88 preview Tuivasa versus Tybura. Ringside Report MMA is coming at ya now.
Let's go!
Let's go. Where are we going? Only time will tell. Only time will tell where we're going. There he is, big AJ DeLesio in the house.
Cheerios, David
Cheerios. You like Cheerios?
What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Like Cheerios, man.
Yeah,
The
why
best.
not? Why
You know,
not?
honey nut, and Cheerios. Cheerios.
Going with a little
What's that? A beer?
it's a Barks root beer in a can. You could only get this in America. These are limited limited edition in my house. It's an import. I import a lot of my soda, AJ, you know.
It's
Import
very
and
impressive.
export. Yeah, like
I've got this from the Hells Angels of Quebec, straight to AJ.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's quite a mug.
That's
what does
for
that
our Rumble
say?
people, man.
Go back to what
It
that
says-
show me that again.
This is classic, man. Cherche-moi pas.
Damn. Where did
Isn't
you
that
get
cool?
that? That is
I just
badass.
told you, man. You know, fans
From
of the show, man.
the
We got
Hells
people in
Angels?
prison
They
that
gave
watch
that one
us.
of the
Yeah.
Hells Angels gave that to you?
I'm going to say it's part of a joke, just in
Okay.
case. I don't want, like, the RCMP knocking on my door,
Yeah.
man.
I don't think you
But
should
yeah,
be
you
saying
know.
that you're getting gifts from the Hells Angels like on YouTube. I don't know if you should be telling the world that.
I'm just telling you, they like the show. What do you want me to do, man? It's not my fault. Anybody can listen.
Well, I'm happy they like the show. I'm happy that anybody likes the show, whether you're a law-abiding citizen, a policeman, a Hells Angel, or whomever
Pope,
you are. We appreciate
the Dalai
all of you
Lama, man.
watching. What are you
And
saying
Mark
interrupting
Coleman.
me, AJ? How about you don't talk over me? Have you not learned that yet? Like when I'm in the middle of a sentence, you kind of jump all over me? Have
Yeah,
we not
but you're just-
discussed this over the past however many years we've been doing this show? I don't know how many times I have to bring it up to you, but it seems to never quite stick.
They probably won't. Listen, listen. Just to let everybody know, Freddie's not here tonight. Freddie's got a
Obviously.
dose of COVID again.
What?
So just to let
Wait,
everybody know.
no, he
He'll
doesn't?
do well. Freddie COVID
He doesn't have
doesn't
COVID.
get vaccine.
He doesn't have
Allegedly.
COVID. What are you talking about?
Are you getting nervous? Did you roll with the guy or what?
No. But I don't think he has COVID. Like he didn't say he has COVID. He didn't tell me he has
Well,
COVID.
I presume he does with the symptoms, man.
I don't know. His
Oh, look at
symptoms
that!
didn't
You
seem.
see what? Listen, you see what Johnny says? Johnny knows, man. Johnny North, our favorite Canadian wrestler, Canada's probably top wrestler.
I mean, Fred is sick, and his kids are sick, but he didn't say anything about having COVID, AJ. I don't want you spreading some misinformation here about our good buddy
saying,
Fred.
man. I'm just saying, you know,
What are you saying?
it's possible. Listen, did you see what? Forget about
Anything's possible.
Anyways, Freddie,
I hope
take
he
care of
does it. We're
yourself.
wishing
Drink
Fred
lots of
well
lemon tea.
instead of spreading
Of
rumors
course.
about Fred. How about
No
that?
jujitsu, Freddie. No jujitsu for at least a week
Yeah,
or two.
I have not rolled with him lately. So I didn't roll with him I rolled with him last week, but not this week. So,
But
think
I'll
I'm
tell you
safe.
something. There is something going around in Montreal. I was just talking to a doctor earlier today, and he says like there's 20 different viruses going around and whatever. I'm like 20. Jesus.
well, things are always going around, AJ. That's the world. That's how things work. Shout out to the members in the chat. I'm seeing Angelo Contagonis. Good evening. Doug Hepburn putting his Canadians
Angelo!
game on mute for us. Thank you, Doug. Out in Kingston, Ontario, big Canadians fan. I guess they're midway through the season. When does the season end?
Les Canadiens sont pas là.
No, they're not doing
Yeah,
well.
nah.
I've lost track of what's happening with them. I don't know.
Listen, it's 30 years since they won a Stanley Cup, dude. I was talking about it earlier today, and it's 30 years. Think about it. There's people
No, but-
that I work with
Yeah,
that are younger than 30 and have never seen, like, they have no idea what the Canadians are. And they were telling me, it's like, oh, I heard about them that they were good, but like, and that's the problem, man. When you don't have a championship team, you start losing the hype, the loyalty. Man, 30 years, Canadians, man. I was
Yeah.
a very young AJ at that point when they last won.
yeah. You were still
Look, the
an
season-
adult, I'm guessing. right?
All to say is, I was at the Stanley Cup parade.
You were at the Stanley Cup parade because you were like a grown man, like you were in your.
I was a young AJ, man.
20s,
but all to say
I'm thinking.
Take
I
it
was
easy, babe.
like 8, right?
Well, do you remember
I'm trying
the
to
Canadians?
do the math. If I was 8 and I add the numbers
Well, forget
that
the math.
you're about like
don't
24,
turn it over.
25 years
divided
old.
by that. No, it wasn't, man. What are you talking about? But anyways, I'm going to tell you something.
He was.
The Canadians.
Just so you all know, he was like in his 20s for sure. And I was about 8 years old. I have no recollection really of the Canadians winning the Stanley Cup, nor did I care.
No, your dad cared, I'm sure. But I'm going to tell you something. I was there with Muscles Marco, man, and it was, think about it. We never thought that would be the last time. Hopefully we're still around a lot longer, but the last time we'd see the Canadians win, like, in 30 years. It's insane, dude. It's a serious problem. And I'm not joking. I joke a lot.
It's a serious problem.
But when it comes, it is a serious problem because merchandise doesn't sell.
Healthcare, education. Canadians haven't won a Stanley Cup in 30 years.
They have to, man. Listen, championship teams build an economy. They create jobs. They like it just produces a championship city that the Montreal Canadiens once were ahead of the New York Yankees in like most championship wins at one point. Think about it. The Canadians were ahead of the Yankees, and now
how many
we gotta win, man. 24 Stanley Cups.
Wow,
if I'm not mistaken,
that's very impressive. 24 Stanley Cups.
Wow, they haven't won
amazing.
one in 30 years, Dave. You haven't seen a Stanley Cup since you were still like watching the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You know?
They have won 2 Stanley Cups.
Know.
They've won 2 Stanley Cups in my lifetime, and the first one I was a baby, and the second one I was 8. So I really don't have any recollection of the Canadians being a good hockey team. I've heard of the dynasties of the 70s, you know, and it's like, all right, cool. They were good in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. In the 80s, they had like a couple good teams. They won a Stanley Cup. They won a Stanley Cup in the 90s, and then that was it. They won in 93, and they haven't won since. But people in this city act like winning the Stanley Cup is their God-given right as a hockey franchise, when it just has not been the case for my lifetime and pretty much, you know, most people's lifetime at this point that live in the city. It's just not been a dynasty. There are people that are old enough to remember the dynasties and care about it and everything, but it's like, that's just not who they are anymore. It'd be cool if they were a dynasty. Who doesn't want to have a dynasty in your hometown, right? A hockey dynasty, whatever, would have been amazing. But you know, that's just not the way the cookie crumbles for the Canadians.
But hear me out.
Too bad they're not, you know, the Vegas Golden Knights or the Detroit Red Wings. Those teams in my lifetime. I mean, the Golden Knights seem to be in the finals every year since they've become a hockey team. And then I remember the Red Wings teams of like the late 90s and the 2000s. They were like a dynasty in the NHL, and basically all I remember as far as great dynasties. Like, it's hard to kind of always be there.
Edmonton Oilers back in the days, man. You know,
but that was not
the New York Islanders,
really,
you know, with Mike Bossy. But I'm going to tell you something, Dave, just to clear up something. Mm-hmm. Listen to this. You know how hardcore you are with the Yankees? That's what Canadian fans were. And think about it.
Yeah, and I got to take exception here, AJ. I'm going to take exception with Johnny North because he's talking shit in the chat, and I don't like it.
Johnny's getting mad at you because you're talking shit about the Canadians. But I just saw a comment from our producer, your dad, John Simon, and you hear what he said. He was at the Expos game.
Yeah.
Imagine the Expos were there. You know, and he was there when they won the Stanley Cup. I mean,
he was at the Expos game when the Canadians won the Stanley Cup. You see what the priorities were in my family. You understand why I am the way I am based on where my dad was and what he was doing when the Canadians were winning the Stanley Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep, that game. Sounds about right. That sounds like what I'd be doing, too, if the Canadians were winning the Stanley Cup. I'd be at a ball game watching real sport.
Look, if the Expos won...
No disrespect, I'm joking. That was a joke.
Look, if the Expos won the World Series, which they should have had when the baseball strike came and killed Canadian baseball, the Expos were number 1, man, ahead of the Yankees, ahead of everybody else. We had the all-star team of all all-star teams. We would have been rocking and rolling. We would have the Canadians champions,
AJ,
the Expos
I don't care.
champions.
Here's the thing. I really don't care about the Canadians, and I'm sick of talking about them already. You've talked about them for too long. It's like, it's enough.
Go, Habs, go. Sans pas là.
So they're not doing well. The only question was, are they doing well And is the season nearly over because it's March and it's warming up?
Yeah.
Like, is it almost done?
Angelo,
That
put out
was
a
my
comment. It's
question.
a month to go. There's a month to go, man.
Okay,
The
thanks.
timer is on.
That's all I really need to know. But Johnny North is
DJ.
saying Habs like the Yankees right now. The Yankees did win in 2009, John, and they have won.
That's true.
More World Series, and I mean, come on, 27.
Well, they surpassed the Canadians, yes,
Yeah.
but the Canadians were ahead of
27.
the Yankees at one point.
27. 27.
Habs not.
No, I mean, the Yankees are an incredible team, an incredible franchise, and I feel like, I've said it before, I feel like Canadians fans just kind of accept them not winning. If the Yankees had a 30-year drought of a World Series, I think the Bronx would burn. Like, I can't imagine what Yankees fans would do. Like, we would go nuts. Like, Yankees fans just demand that the team spend stupid money to get all the best players, and if they don't do it, we're like very pissed. Like, I am legitimately very mad that the Yankees haven't spent stupid money signing the free agent Blake Snell to a contract, because we need pitching, and Rodon is not going to be it, and I don't think Stroman is a number 2 starter, and our number 1 starter, Garrett Cole, just went down for at least, they're saying, 1 to 2 months, but honestly, what we're looking at is possible Tommy John surgery, possibly losing our ace, our Cy Young award-winning starter, Garrett Cole, and then being without him for the entirety of the 2024 season and a chunk of the 2025 season. So the fact that the Yankees are not spending money on starting pitching right now is pissing me off, and it's not even April. The season hasn't even begun, and I am so goddamn mad, and I want some signing. I need some strength in the rotation, because I look at the 5-man rotation right now and how everybody's been performing in spring training, and yes, I am watching every game. I'm not watching every game because they're not all available, but I'm paying attention. I'm looking at the box score. I'm paying attention to what's going on, and our pitching is not impressive. Our starting pitching is not doing well. Marcus Stroman had a bad start today. He didn't look good today. Nestor Cortez has not looked great. Carlos Rodon has looked okay, but not great, and not good enough to give me confidence that he's not going to have another garbage season like he did last year. And then we got Schmidt, who's the number 5 starter that we're not really supposed to expect much from, and we're not really getting much from. So where is the rotation here? We've got Juan Soto. We got Aaron Judge. Stanton looks good. The hitting looks good. The run production looks like it's going to be very, very good this year. But if there's no pitching, you're not winning. And the Yankees right now have no pitching. And I'm really worried about what's going to happen come April when the season gets started and we realize we could score all the runs we want, but if the other team scores more, we still lose. Last year, we had the opposite problem. Couldn't score runs, couldn't hit, no run production. The pitching was solid. Our bullpen is still pretty good, but I think we're just going to have to rely on the bullpen for the whole year, which you can't do. The arms are going to fall off. I am so concerned about the Yankees right now. It's not even healthy. I think about the Yankees so much right now, it's not right. And I know it's not right, and I'm obsessing over it, but there's nothing I can do, and I'm not the only one. I go on Twitter, and I see other people like me on Yankees Twitter. I'm like, yep, okay, it's not just me. We're all freaking out. Good to know. Some people freaking out more than me. But I'm definitely freaking out. I'm not happy with what's going on with the Yankees right now. I was very excited when we started spring training. I thought, okay, Rodon looks in good shape. Stanton looks in great shape. We got Cole. We got Judge. They're healthy. I thought even Judge has been not healthy in spring training and has taken days off and had an MRI on his abdominals, possible rib thing. It's not clear what's going on with Judge. Taking time off. So when our 2 best players are hurt, I'm concerned. When Aaron Judge, the home run king, and Garrett Cole, the Cy Young Award winner, the 2 bright spots on last year's abysmal team, When those guys are hurt in spring training, I worry. And then when they tell me Garrett Cole's going to be out for 1 to 2 months, and then another doctor's going to be evaluating him, we should have news. We're supposed to get more news tonight. I'm going to check because I'm obsessed, and he doesn't have a torn UCL. They're saying it's not Tommy John. Do we have news? Is it only 1 to 2 months? Are we sure? It's not sure. We don't even have an opening day starter. Nobody knows who's starting opening day. It's not Garrett Cole. It's not Carlos Rodon, and it's not Marcus Stroman. It might be Nestor Cortez. We don't know who's starting the first game of the season. So you see
good,
AJ,
Dave.
you see what's going on, and you see I'm a guy in Montreal. I'm not even from the Bronx. Okay?
Imagine. Damn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you
so
some good news. I'm going to tell you some good news.
It's panic in
Listen.
Yankees world, AJ, and I'm
It
obsessed.
is.
I'm more obsessed with this than any other sport, like more than MMA, more than anything going on in MMA right now. More than anything in pro wrestling even. I'm so focused on the Yankees. It's stupid. It's dumb.
Well, you're a hardcore Yankees fan, man.
I'm
It's
so
okay. You're allowed
obsessed.
to, man.
I love
We
it
got to
so
take a trip.
much.
Listen, you know what we should do? We should take a drive to New York and go see a Yankees game this summer.
Yes.
We should.
Yeah.
You know?
If
mean,
I
you're
have the
hardcore,
vacation
dude.
time. I don't know
With
if
my
I actually
brother.
have that much vacation time.
Yeah, you'll
to do
get it.
it.
I'll send them a note. Listen, I'm going to just tell you some good news. Want to hear some good news?
Yeah.
The Yankees suck already.
Whoa,
preseason.
I'm not ready to admit that. We're still going to win the World Series.
Well,
This
it
is
sounds-
going to be a difficult
It sounds
climb.
exactly like you gave up on the team before they started the season. I understand.
Well-
From what you convinced me, man. I was sitting back. I was just like a jury in like a courtroom, man. You know, in an O.J. Simpson trial. I was listening to you, and you
Yeah, we're
convinced
cooked.
me that the Yankees are not going to win the World Series. I'm
Yeah,
sold.
it doesn't look good right now. Unless Garrett Cole comes back in a month and is fine. Like, maybe Garrett Cole is fine. Maybe it's only going to be a month or two. And, you know, then if everything's fine. If he's only gone till May, we're good. If Judge is really just minor injury and Garrett Cole's back in May or June even, I think we're good. I think we're actually unstoppable. But if Garrett Cole's out for the year and Rodon isn't who he needs to be, we got some problems. I don't have a lot
can I
of
give you
faith
some
in the
good
pitching
news?
staff right now, and I have less faith without Garrett Cole because he's the only guy that was good last year.
Yeah,
What
let
do
me
you
give you some good news. Let me give
Yeah.
you some good news, Dave.
What's the good
Want to
news
hear the
now?
good news?
Yeah.
The Canadians are not winning the Stanley Cup. The Yankees look like they're not winning in 2024.
Oh,
But there's two bright notes. Two bright notes. One is we still have something tied into MMA here in Canada, including Montreal. I mean, we had the legendary GSP that won world champion right in our back door here, dude. Let's not forget about it. We still had
He
some
won it in your back
championship
door?
feel.
my God.
Well, kind of.
What
Well,
a
he used
rude
to at my
thing
old
to-
apartment. He used to come through the front door. But I'm going to tell you something. But then I just saw something that DJ said. We've got a lot of shit happening this summer. We've got the Euro Cup that's coming in. It's going to be insane. And you know what? It's going to be
Oh.
insane.
That's
you know,
this
you gotta
summer.
do your
That's
French.
awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for reminding us, DJ. Because I'm telling you, yeah, I know, DJ, you're a French fan. That's okay. You're allowed to.
Allez les Bleus.
But, you know, allez, les Azzurri.
What?
Where are you going? Look, Dave just gave up.
Get the hell out of here with all that. Come on. Come on.
Here he goes. I knew he was up to no good. Where's my Italian shit? Where's my Italian shit? There it is. It's up there, but I can't get to it, or else my earphones are going to pop out. Let me get something, the Italian here.
Allez les Bleus.
Where
I'm
are you?
always ready, motherfucker. I'm always ready with something. There's always a gimmick for France somewhere, baby. Because
Damn it,
we
I
are
can't-
always representing for the greatest soccer nation in the world, France.
Where is...
Benoit Saint
Well,
Denis
let me
may
tell
have
you.
gone down, but Les
Oof,
Bleus
big
will
time.
never falter.
Well, thanks to Benoit, you killed our parlay. But
Yes, he did. You destroyed my parlay at UFC 299, Monsieur Saint-Denis. Yeah, you like this,
Listen,
DJ
man.
Board? How about this? This is nice right here. We got the
Mbappe.
golden cock. Of course, France has the golden cock.
You like the golden cock, eh?
Of
I'm
course
sure
we
you
do.
do.
Hey, that's what we got, baby. That's just how we roll. We got golden cocks left and right. Mbappe! The best. The best. Nobody better than France. Nobody. They are the best. They're going to win the Euro. They got screwed out of the last World Cup. Totally screwed by those jabroni Argentinians. They got totally screwed diddlied by that fucking Messi. I don't like him at all.
Messi, numero
Goddamn
uno.
guys, they stole it from France. France will get revenge. No Argentinians in the Euro. They're not allowed. Not allowed.
Hey, there you go, Angelo, man. If Greece wins the Euro, man, you better drop down like 5,000 like that Greek guy did way back. The guy, I think he clocked over a couple of $1 million from his odds that he picked. He picked it way, way in advance. And Greece pulled it off. They beat Portugal twice in that tournament. It was incredible, man. Greece did it. Opa!
Oppo.
And that guy made a lot of opas. Lots of opas.
You got to make those opas, man. Got
Lots
to
of
make
opas,
the opas.
man.
Keep making
You gotta
them
make
opas.
the opas.
Opally wopally.
Nothing like an opa.
Oompa loompas.
Opa. Opa.
Opa
Scasare,
loompa.
Anthony.
So, AJ.
Listen, man.
AJ,
Tell me, bud.
can we talk
Are
about
we
fights?
talking MMA? Yeah.
Could we?
Well, we tied it in. I told you Georgia's a champion. I brought in, like, Benoit Saint Denis that you talked about. Like, we're tying it in. And most important, I want to give do you want to talk? You want to start off, Dave? Can I give a hero's welcome to one of our followers, man, a great guy. He likes Ringside. He puts comments all the time. He's a super duper guy, a true hero, man. Like a great ambassador for the sport. I loved him back in the days of Pride. UFC, Pride. The guy is just such a cool man. And I give a strong shout out to Mark Coleman, man. Mark Coleman, we love you, bud. Get better, get strong. You're a true hero, man. And if you don't know what's happened in the last couple of days, I mean, if you were following our Twitter feed or Instagram, you would know that Mark Coleman went through a pretty hard he's still going through a pretty hard time, but he was in a coma for a bit. Basically what happened is that his parents' house caught on fire, and if it wasn't for his dog Hammer to wake him up, to alert him to what was happening, the guy went in, saved his parents, and he went in there, tried to save his dog, but unfortunately I think he got smoke inhalation, and he was in serious in a serious situation. But the good news is that as of, I believe it was today, Dave, or this morning, that he came out of it. And it's very emotional. Dave didn't want to show the video because he says it's very emotional.
Yeah,
but
it was
man,
rough.
this guy is a true hero, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the house, I mean, the house is burned to a smithereens. And the first thing that Mark Coleman said is, he was crying, right? It's hard, man. And you got to look at this guy. Thank God he conditioned himself really well to be able to go into a burning home to save both his parents. And the first thing he said is that he was so joyous that his parents were saved. Yeah. Man, what a cool guy. I love Mark Coleman. I always loved him in Pride. Yeah. This is the definition of a true warrior, man. Right there. It
was scary. It was scary, right? Because we were seeing the reports wow, Coleman, he saved his parents from their burning house, and he was in a bad way from smoke inhalation, and he was in a coma, and it was kind of like a touch and go there. And you're like, oh, man, Mark Coleman, this is And then the story just took such a nice turn today when you see the video of Mark Coleman, and he's so happy, and he's crying, and he's just so happy to be alive, and his parents are alive. It's unbelievable, heroic story from a great man, Mark the Hammer Coleman. And yeah, we, he's been a supporter of the show, and to have a UFC legend, a former UFC heavyweight champion, a Pride legend, to support the show is so cool. So we're really happy to see Mark pull out of it. We're friends on Facebook. I'm not friends on Facebook with a lot of MMA fighters, but I'm friends with Mark Coleman.
He's an amazing guy, man.
So yeah, I feel a connection with him, and I'm we're sending you our best wishes, Mark. We're really we're pulling for you and the whole family, Mark. Just you're a legend of the sport. We love you. We have so much love and respect for you and really all the great pioneers of MMA, but especially everything that Mark Coleman has been going through. We're sending our love to him and his family. Tough time, but thankfully everyone has survived, and that's really an incredible
except
story.
Hammer.
Except his poor dog Hammer, which is so sad.
Sad.
Yeah, and I know that losing a pet can be just as devastating as losing a human being. So my thoughts are with the Coleman family for their loss. Right? Pretty cool. His dog's name was Hammer. You know, Hammer House MMA, the Coleman gym, named his dog Hammer. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
it's sad, but like, man, like, the craziest part is that Coleman actually put a comment for Ringside like a week ago, just he's been going through a lot. He had hip surgery, he's been like training, but it just goes to show you, man, how important it is to continuously train in your life somehow or another, and as a former like MMA fighter, man, he went into a burning home, man. Like he opened up that door and it was smoke all over the place.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Mark
Angelo wants to know
Coleman,
who Coleman is.
I'm seeing Angelo in the chat wondering who Mark Coleman is. He was actually the first ever UFC heavyweight champion, beating Dan the Beast Severn back in 1997 at UFC 12. So you talk about a legend and a pioneer of the sport. You really don't get much more legend and pioneer than Dan the Beast Severn, and of course Mark the Hammer Coleman. He had a great gym, Hammer House MMA, which really was the first MMA hotbed, of a gym. Like it was the first gym where people were coming out of it and having success, and that was really all around Mark Coleman, who had an amateur wrestling career, Division I wrestler. I think he also competed in the Olympics. He went to the 1992 Summer Olympics. He was a Division I national champion at Ohio State. Like I said, first ever UFC heavyweight champion. He was the Pride 2000 open weight Grand Prix champion, beating
That's crazy, man.
Some incredible guys in one night. On May 1st of 2000, he beat Akira Shoji, Kazuyuki Fujita, Igor Vovchanchin. And that was in the finals against Vovchanchin. Like three guys in one night won the Grand Prix. The guy has wins over legends like Don Fry, Shogun Hua, a legendary couple of fights with Shogun, one in Pride, of course, and then one a few years later in the UFC. He's fought them all. He's beat
Nogueira. Remember Nogueira fight Pride 16?
Yeah, he fought Nogueira. He fought Don Fry. He fought Randy Couture in his last ever MMA fight, I believe. He's beat Stephan Bonner at UFC 100. I mean, Mark Coleman has been there.
Mirko Cro Cop.
Done that. Jesus. Yeah, Mirko Cro Cop. He's fought everybody. He's done it all. He is a beast, an absolute legend. And if anybody's going to survive that type of trauma, that type of house fire, it's going to be a man like Mark the Hammer Coleman. So we got a lot of respect for him. He's a legend of the sport. Big love to the Hammer. AJ.
And tell me, Dave, can I just say one thing? If you want to see like his video coming out of like the coma and seeing his daughters, which was pretty emotional. Even I got choked up a bit. I got choked up. It was emotional. But if you want to go see it, go to our Instagram page. We have it there, or on Twitter. Actually, you'll see the his kids going and see him just coming out of coma. And the first things he says, and you're right, Dave, man, if anybody could do it, it's Coleman. And, you just never know, eh, Dave? Like, shit happens all the time. But, Ringside team from, the rest, from Johnny and Fred that are not here, obviously, Uncle Ben and obviously John Simon, the Big Cheese, we send our love, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hammer. Are you okay, dude? Are you getting emotional there, Dave? You want me to start
No.
saying some jokes?
I'm trying to pivot here, AJ. I'm trying to pivot to something else. Tai Tuivasa, Marcin Tybura coming up on Saturday night.
gonna be
Tuivasa,
crazy.
Tybura, the odds on this one. Let me give you the Bet99 odds. They have Tuivasa minus 115, Tybura minus 105. So basically a pick 'em, which is interesting.
Look, it started off as Tuivasa being the favorite, and it's sort of like balanced out to a pick 'em. But this is a tough one. But if you start looking at, who is, in my opinion, who I think should win. I mean, I'm looking at all the stats and everything. It's the number 9 versus the number 10. I mean, these two guys, man, very, very, very strong. But the thing is, it's unpredictable. So if it's a stand-up game, I mean, Tuivasa can knock you out. The thing is, if it gets to the ground, Tybura will definitely submit him out. So that's what I think. I think that if it gets to the ground, and it's not like Tybura can knock you out. I mean, he's doing a pretty good run. He's won like 11 of his 17 fights. He has like great takedown defense. His takedown accuracy is at 33%. Takedown defense that's for Tuivasa. I apologize. Is at 33%.
Okay.
That's where I was looking at the stat where I'm like, that's where Tybura could come in and take control of that fight. If Tuivasa cannot control him, and he gets down to the ground, I think Tybura will be able to submit him. So I'm pushing the edge towards the fact that it's going to end up in that manner, in that fashion. I think Tybura is going to be able to control him and most probably submit him. And it's not like he's looking that good, Tuivasa, lately. Like, let's be honest. His last fight wasn't great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other factors too, like from height advantage, but also kick advantage. The guy has a 46-inch reach, Tybura, to only 39 for Tuivasa. He's got 3-inch reach, obviously with his arms at 78 to 75 for Tuivasa. So what I'm trying to get at is that if they get into the clinch, I think Tybura has that capability because of that poor defense takedown from Tuivasa to take him down to the ground and do what he's going to do and possibly submit him.
Yeah, I just don't like the way Tuivasa has looked lately. He's not looked great.
He hasn't looked great.
I didn't like him showing up to that WWE show and drinking the beer there when he was there. It wasn't a good look. Tough, it just, I don't know. There's something about him. I'm just not believing it. I'm not buying in the Tai Tuivasa stock right now. And I'm going with Marcin Tybura in this fight. What?
When he first started Tuivasa back in 2017, he started off strong, man.
Yeah, but now, right? Now it's like there's something that's kind of dipped. Something's dipped there. And I feel like the dip is going to continue on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, I think. It's like a 4 o'clock start, maybe?
Yeah, it's at 4 o'clock prelims and at 7 o'clock the main card.
Oh, okay. Co-main event, we got Brian Battle and Angelosa taking on a couple welterweight fighters here. Kennedy Nezchukwu takes on OSP, Aubin-Mercier.
That's going to be interesting.
Macy Chiasson takes on Pani Kianzad. Gerald Mearshart against Brian Barberina could be a fun fight. Natan Levy takes on Mike Davis. What else is on this? A Canadian fighter, Chad Anheliger, takes on Charalampos Grigoriou. That's the first fight. So Canadian fighter Chad Anheliger. Where's he from? Alberta, Consort, Alberta. All right. Fighting out of Calgary. There you go. So that's coming up on Saturday. AJ, do you have a prelim? No, sorry, not prelim. A parlay for us. I know we didn't have a great parlay last week. We did give you a few nice picks, some solo picks. We gave you Sean O'Malley to win by decision. That was pretty good. But, yeah, overall parlay.
Man.
Huh?
Sean O'Malley was, like, on fire. He looked amazing. Like, the guy was exactly what I expected him to be. The first encounter that they had, I said it, the guy was broken going into that fight. This is a different Sean O'Malley, and holy smokes, did his stock go up. You know, even Benoit Saint Denis, I got it. Like, that really bothers me because he was doing so well to the point where that first round was like, okay, it looks like Dustin's gonna have like, it's gonna be a bad night for him, and things got turned around. But he was hurt. There was something wrong with him. Like, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I do know about Jack.
Well, Saint Denis said he did have staph, and that was maybe why his performance wasn't so good.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, man. Like, I'll be honest. Like, having staph, and I was saying that last week. Like, you don't realize how staph can mess up your body. You're on antibiotics, but fighting that infection, like, you just don't feel great. I had staph. I was like bedridden for a week on my stomach because I couldn't even stay in the hospital because you're infectious. So they had to keep me home. But I'm going to tell you, man, that shit is nasty. So he performed really well, but he gassed out. That's the problem with like having staph. And, obviously he was at the end stage of it, but man, it's a bad time to get that kind of stuff. That's why, guys, shower up after you train.
Yeah, but I don't really think it was the staff. I think it was just Dustin Poirier's tremendous performance. I mean, he just
listen, compliments to Dustin, man.
Do you see Marlon Vera? Cheeto Vera is saying, "Oh, Sean O'Malley was greased. He was like, but Cheeto didn't even try to grapple him. He kickboxed him and he lost. I mean, what are you talking about?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that on
drinking
Twitter.
olive oil?
Yeah, I don't know. He said he was
This is
greased.
not like the early days. Listen, it's not like the 2000s of the UFC where there was some controversy with that. Like, there was some greasing, from the outside and also
BJ Penn, George St-Pierre. BJ said George was greasing.
Listen, lots of olive oil was shared, man. I'll just tell you. But listen, it's a possibility, but I don't believe that at all. Listen, Cheeto, man. Give the guy credit, man. His stand-up was amazing.
Yeah.
And there was no grease there except for his fast hands, man. But what I wanted to get at was
O'Malley called out Topuria after the fight. I think that's ridiculous, though. It's got to be Merab. Like, come on, man. Quit joking. I think Dana said the same thing. Like, it's Merab. Let's be real.
Yeah, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But it could be an interesting thing if he wants to go, all the way to Spain.
All the way to Spain.
Well, that's where the fight would take place, right? The next fight for Topuria is in Spain, and they want to do it. Like,
maybe. I don't know if they're actually going to do that.
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Dana White said it was going to happen. He said it, like, in his conference that it will take place in Spain. Okay. But when, against who, we don't know.
Okay.
But
Here's
let's
my
get
parlay.
to Mike. Wait, can I just say a few things?
No.
I just want to say a few things.
You're saying too many things.
Solid performance. Jack Della Maddalena, did you know that he broke his arm in that fight?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I found out not long ago, like his arm was broken, and man, what an impressive win. Yeah.
You know that.
Hats off to that guy.
Did you know that if he had not finished Gilbert Burns in the third round, he would have lost a decision because on the scorecards, 2 out of the 3 judges had given the first 2 rounds to Gilbert Burns. So no matter what happened in the third round, Della Maddalena had to finish because on the scorecards, he was about to lose a decision. Even if he had won the third round, because 2 judges gave the first 2 rounds to Gilbert Burns, it would have been a split decision for Gilbert Burns, 29-28, had Della Maddalena not finished him in the third.
That's crazy, man. Whatever. That's why I don't leave it in the hands of the judges, man.
He didn't.
He didn't, thank God.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you, man.
It's kind of nuts because I thought he was winning all the rounds. I don't really understand.
Well, that's exactly what I thought. Like, it doesn't make sense, but here you go.
But that's scoring, man. I did see the scorecards after, and I was like, what? Della Maddalena nearly lost. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, here's my parlay, AJ. Are you ready now?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
God.
Tell me.
I got other shit to talk about other than this UFC card, and I want to get through it. So come on, man.
Go, man. Go.
Show can't be 3 hours. Like, let's get real. Kennedy Nzechukwu. I'm taking him.
Huh?
Yeah, Kennedy Nzechukwu. I can't pronounce his name. I don't even know.
Bless you.
Nzechukwu.
Yeah,
Kennedy.
He's good, that guy.
Mr.
Kennedy is a beast.
Kennedy. It's Mr. Kennedy to you. He's going to beat OSP for sure. And Marcin Tybura, I like him in the main event.
What the hell?
That was for you. I like him in the main event at minus 105. So that's a 2-fight parlay plus 131. 20 gets you 46.15 over at bet99.com. Go for it. Double your money with Team Dave. It's a simple 2-fight parlay. It's what I'm going to bet on
That's
this
a nice
Saturday.
one. I
That's
like
what I'm
that.
betting on.
Yeah.
Kennedy and Tybura. You're on the clock, and I mean it. Like, hurry up.
Well, take it easy there. What do you
You
think
take
this is?
so long with your parlays,
like
man.
Amsterdam, like on the red light district.
You do
Take
like
it
this
easy.
whole
Listen,
goddamn soliloquy before every goddamn pick, and I'm sick of
soliloquy.
it. Just give me a pick.
Wow, what a word!
Yeah, I got a lot of big words,
Webster,
my friend. Huh?
Except for the Yankees winning the season. But I'm going to tell you something. I
The
like what
Yankees
you
winning
picked.
the season. You can't even say that right.
I just said that.
Yeah, but
Listen,
it didn't
I'm
make
going to
sense.
give you Kennedy. That guy there is a good solid pick. I think OSP, man, big Kennedy. That's one big boy, man. But I'm going to go with Kennedy, 12-4. OSP, man, lots of experience. He's been in the game a long time, 26-17. But I think Kennedy, man, is going to do a beatdown on that
Kennedy. Anybody know what I'm doing there? Is that just me? Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy. You remember that? He was a wrestler. Anyways. So who do you have? Kennedy Chachuku?
Yeah, Kennedy Nishukuku.
Who else? Who else?
You're supposed to say it, Dave. And then I'm going to go with...
in England.
In England, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go with... I'm a little weary about the Brian Battle. I think Brian Battle should be able to beat Angie Luza, but that
Maybe
guy
not,
is
though.
one big guy.
He's
Maybe
very
not.
strong.
I'm
He
a
may
little
knock
nervous.
Brian Battle unconscious, I feel.
Yeah, he might knock him out unconscious. So
Yes.
I'm actually, for once, I'm going to step away from a fight. And that Angelusa, like, really, he scares me. Like, I'm going to put some money on him to win. But I'm not going to put him in my parlay, where I'm going to go with Tybura as well. I think Tybura is going to be able to beat Ty Tuivasa. I don't think there's going to be any shoe drinking. Marcin is from Poland, if I'm not mistaken, so there will be some drinking that night. But yeah, that's it, man. That's my my parlay.
Wait, what's your parlay?
Oh, but you got the same thing, man.
Yeah, stop stealing my parlay, man. What are you doing? You got a 2-fight parlay? All of a sudden you want to do 2-fight parlays? What happened to your 10-fight parlays? You do a 2-fight parlay, it's exactly like mine? What is this?
Okay.
My
Take
style.
it easy there.
What is this?
Don't get upset there, bud.
Next thing I know, you're going to pick France to win the
problems.
Euro Cup, too. What the hell's going on? Yo, you a Yankee fan now?
Look, it's a possible. I like the Yankees.
Yeah, you better.
But this year. But look, I'm gonna do.
Only
I'm gonna
because
do this.
of what I've told you.
Listen,
you don't know anything.
I'm gonna go with the Angelusa. He's a loose goose. I'm gonna go with him. I really look. Brian Battle is the guy, man.
An underdog pick on your parlay to spice it up. I like it.
Listen, my flags keep going to that guy. I don't want to put him in my parlay, but you know what? I was gonna go on a single bet on him, so throw him in. Throw the Lusa Gusa in there, man.
Okay, here it is.
Angelo says Yankees suck. Dave's going to go wild.
So uncool. So uncool. What is your favorite sports team, Angelo? Because they suck. How about that? Boom. Gotcha.
He's an Astros
Kennedy,
fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Tybura, and Lusa. It's a 3-fight parlay from AJ, the Lusa Gusa. Plus 488.20 gets you 117.68 over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. That's a good return for
What was it, 117 you said?
117 on a $20 bet.
Wow, that's a good one, man. AJ's going to actually put that down for the parlay.
Angalusa.
Listen, you got to go to bet99.com.
Yes.
Don't forget, indeed. Man.
Go for it.
If you want to get the added bonuses and all that kind of stuff, go to our website at ringsidereport.net. Click on the link for Bet99, brings you straight to the page. Don't go to the left, go to the right to Ringside and support the Ringside, show. And hopefully we all win, man. Doug, man, the Lusa Gusa is something to think about.
Yeah.
Man, it's a hard card. There's a few guys I don't really know anything about.
Do you want to see Conor McGregor looking a little wonky?
Looking good? How's Conor looking nowadays?
Did you not see the video
Is
clip?
he looking suave?
Did you not see the
No.
clip that I sent you in the group chat?
No, I wasn't able to click on it, so I don't know what it's about. Tell me it's something good. Where is my Connor doll? Where is Connor? Let me go get him.
Connor was on a red carpet. He was on a red carpet promoting his movie Roadhouse. So he's in full promotion mode.
Right.
And he seems a little... Well,
what the hell did he do now?
Well, I'll let you decide how you think Connor is doing. And if you maybe would bet on Connor or not to win a fight anytime soon. Here's a clip of Conor McGregor. Recent clip.
Okay. It's looking good so far.
Yeah.
Hi, Connor. I'm Claire Gallagher with the Daily Texan. What can you tell us about your acting debut? Obviously, it's your first experience.
Hard work, but, you know, we got it done. It's in the bank for life. You know, you put something in the bank, maybe it's not going to be there for life. You might spend it. This baby is in there for life, and I'm ecstatic about that. You know, I got into good, strong shape. I gave it my all. You know, I was a little probably green at times, a bit rough around the edges, but for the character it worked. And, you know, onwards to the next one if there is a next one.
Yeah.
Just look at how fidgety he is here when he comes into the picture.
Connor,
what the hell happened there, man?
What was that? What's up,
dude? I'm gonna tell you. You want to hear my hybrid of what I think he looks like?
So people are saying Connor looks really coked out in this, and I sent it to Fred, who is familiar with the common themes and symptoms, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that looks very cokey."
What the hell, man? He looks like, I'm gonna tell you what he looks like. He looks like a Klingon on coke. I mean, his forehead, his eyebrows. I mean, it doesn't even look like the same Connor. And the hybrid is if you take Tony Montana from Scarface, a Klingon and coke, and you put it together. This is what you get right now. What the hell you doing, Connor?
Here's more. Here's him talking about fighting a KSI or Jake Paul. Like he doesn't look healthy. He does not look healthy, right?
Well, he looks jacked.
But the face looks not good.
The YouTuber nerds could be like, you know,
Klingon.
I consider that a nixer. You know, your uncle's friend needs a fucking, you know, a radiator fitted in his house, so you'll do a side job and get a side pay. I consider them you know, them guys to be nixers. If I was to pick one out of them, I'd probably KSI has a big name in the UK. The Pauls. That Tyson fight is just a strange one to me. I hope Tyson takes his nose off. I'm sure at some stage. You know, we'll go through all of these guys. The Fury caught me out today or yesterday, and he beat Jake and he fought KSI. So you never. It's just like another little world, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm open for it. I'll never say no.
What the hell, man?
I don't know. He doesn't look good. It's not a good look for him. He just doesn't seem healthy, and I just wonder if the fight is ever going to happen with Michael Chandler. It doesn't seem likely.
Healthy.
And if it does happen, I'm betting all the money I have on Michael Chandler, like everything.
Well, look, I'm going to say one thing. Connor looks
people
jacked.
will bet on
he
Connor,
looks jacked.
and you'll get a good price on Michael Chandler, even if he's the favorite. And Chandler will definitely win because he's fighting and not doing coke or whatever the fuck. He seems off.
I mean,
he does not seem like a sharp Conor McGregor. This is not the guy that I remember. Seeing him today, when I was watching this clip this morning, I thought, yeah, is he okay? Is he okay?
Yeah, there's something off. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you look at him physically, he's got the buff. But it's just the face, man. It's like there's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's something wrong.
I don't know if he's done Botox or whatever, but I wasn't joking about the Klingon joke there. I mean, yeah, it's a little scary, man, because you want this guy to be sharp, and I love Connor, man. He brought a lot to the UFC and whatnot. There's no doubt about it, but he doesn't look like he's looking buff, ready for a photo shoot, maybe the movies, but he doesn't look ready for a fight into the octagon. If he had to step into the octagon tomorrow, is he ready to go? I don't know, man. It looks like he was a little high there. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, it's I mean, it's the facial structure, Dave. Show a picture of Conor just like 5 years ago. It's not that long ago. You shouldn't change that much in 5 years. But look at Conor, what you just saw in the video, and pull up like a shot of Conor just 5 years ago. That's a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
From body, metamorphosis to like just the facial it's like different, man.
I mean, look at this guy, just for example.
Does that look like the same guy to you? Yes or no?
No.
No, I wouldn't recognize it's the same guy, man.
No.
And he's in shape there.
That's like a healthy Conor McGregor.
That's a scary look, AJ, there. It was like an owl in a tree. But
so hold on, and I'll show you what he looks like now. Like, it's rough. It's like
it's rough,
not
man.
Like that's him now, and this is what he used to look like 5 years ago.
And you got you actually got a good profile of Conor in the last picture there. Like if you have a picture of him dead on, man, you can see his jaw, man. Everything is like his forehead. Everything looks gonflé, as they say in French.
He looks nice and healthy here in fighting shape. 5 years ago, you know, this is the Conor McGregor like we remember. Like this face right here, you know, even Conor, sunken in at the weigh-in. He looks healthier here at the weigh-in than he does promoting a movie. Whoops, that's us. Promoting a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
He's supposed to be in promotion mode, promoting movies. He should be healthy. But here he is, depleted from a weight cut 5 years ago, looking better than he does right now. So, he's not going to win another MMA fight ever again. This guy looks healthier in his mugshot.
Oh, the famous mugshot. Look at that. Look at that healthy guy.
Look at the mugshot.
You know, nothing like throwing a dolly at a bus.
And now look at him. Okay, Conor at a movie premiere. Conor's mugshot. Who looks better? Arrested Conor is better than movie premiere Conor. That's not good. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Hollywood's gonna kill this guy.
The mugshot is supposed to look like shit. The movie premiere, you're supposed to look good. He's got it flipped around. You just got to ask Nick Nolte. That guy, movie premiere, sharp. Mugshot, little wacky. Look like Coolio hair, you know? You know
what he reminds me a bit?
You ever see the Nick Nolte mugshot? That's like a classic one.
Or the Gary Busey one, man.
Isn't it Nick Nolte with the crazy hair?
Oh, yeah. I think it's... No, is that Gary Busey?
No. It's a Nick Nolte. Look at that guy.
Damn! What the hell is that? The Joker?
I don't know, but Hawaii? That's what he looked like when he got arrested. People were like, God damn, Nick Nolte.
That's a face of nightmares. If that was standing over my bed, I swear to God, I would go through the window, man. Right down to the second floor. Jesus, why make horror movies? Look at that.
That's it. When you're used to like seeing this like handsome fellow, you know?
Look at that handsome guy. Look at that.
Look at that. Handsome.
He looks like an Old Spice commercial.
And then all of a sudden, Mugshot Man shows up. You're like, what the hell just went on? You know?
It went to Scary Spice there, Dave.
But I'm saying Conor McGregor is doing things in reverse. He's showing up looking like shit to the movie premiere, looking real handsome in his mugshot. It's not how it's supposed to work, Conor. I don't know what's happening, but I really worry about him. I worry about. I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. I know people are laughing because you talk about cocaine and you laugh, but like it's an addiction that I think he has, and I think he doesn't have a grasp of, and it could ruin his life, career, health, money, everything. Like, I don't think that's funny. You know? I feel bad for Conor McGregor. I mean, he looks like a man in the throes of addiction, and it doesn't look healthy, and he looks like he doesn't have control. And that's worrisome. Because I don't want the Conor McGregor story to end badly. I want him to be a triumph. Why would you want it to end badly? Yep. You know? I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny.
It's not funny, but it's concerning, you know, but maybe it was just an off night. Maybe it was like, you know, you didn't get much sleep and we're like, you know, we're jumping the gun. But I mean, Fred is, he's a pharmaceutical expert.
He's an expert. He would know.
He's an expert.
He would know.
Yeah, so
he knows the signs, and he's like, Fred immediately was like, yeah, what? Come on, man. I believe it. Okay. So we're hoping for the best for Conor McGregor. I just don't know. I do want to report some good news. You were trying to give me good news before. You were like, the Canadians, Dave, here's good news. The Yankees won't win. The Canadians won't win, but GSP. And I'm like, he retired years ago, man. It's not really good news.
Yeah, but he still won a championship here in the last 30 years.
Can I give you some good news, AJ, that you may not know about that's actually good news that you could be proud of?
Okay. Let's hear this.
So, do you know who is the last great Quebec Canadian MMA champion?
The last great I would think it would be like GSP.
Try again.
Oh, we're talking about Olivier Aubin-Mercier, man.
I'm talking about an MMA champion of a promotion from here.
Oh, promotion. You're talking about
champion.
I thought fighter,
I'm talking
man.
about a champion. And Olivier was the champion of PFL. He won the tournament 2 years in a row, won the $1 million tournament 1 year, turned around, did it again, and then retired from the sport because he's the man, and that's what Canadian gangsters do. So
he's a gangster, man.
He has retired from the PFL, but there's somebody that's going to take his spot and keep that championship not only in Canada, not only in Quebec, not only in Montreal, but he's going to keep that championship where it belongs, in Villemard, Quebec, right here in Villemard, right on Mount Boulevard. Michael Dufort has signed with the PFL. He is Olivier's teammate. He is an absolute beast. I saw him compete recently at the Montreal Quintet, right? He was on Team H2O, right, AJ? You saw him too. You were there with us.
He's a beast, man. Yeah, he's amazing.
He is incredible. And Michael Dufort has signed with PFL. He will be fighting to start the PFL regular season Friday, April 12th against Mads Burnell in a lightweight fight. So the lightweight PFL championship will be staying in Quebec because Olivier retired and his training partner, Michael Dufort, making his big league debut with the PFL. And I have no doubt that Monsieur Dufort will do very, very well for himself because he is a beast. An absolute beast.
Wow, that's good news, man.
So be on the lookout for him. I know that, Olivier had a big name going into the PFL because he fought in the UFC, and maybe some Quebec or Canadian MMA fans might not be as familiar with Michael Dufort because he didn't fight in the UFC, but I've been watching him fight, his fights around in kind of different promotions here and there. I'm pretty sure I've seen him fight MMA once or twice before live, and I definitely saw him do some jiu-jitsu, saw him compete with the incredible H2O team that they had there at the Quintet. So I know what kind of an athlete this guy is. He's very high level, and I expect big things from him. So pay attention to Michael Dufort. If you're a Montreal, or a Canadian MMA fan, this is a guy that you can look at and say, well, this guy could be a real prospect on a big league scene here in the PFL. So look out for him, and congratulations to Michael Dufort for signing with PFL, but also congratulations to PFL for making that signing because he's going to be a hell of a talent on their roster. So great news there, and I wanted to give that to you, AJ. As we wrap up, give you some real great news about a real great fighter getting a big shot in a big tournament. We're going to get more millionaires. I mean, H2O is just going to keep churning out millionaires. It's just going to be like, oh, Dufort is done. He's retired. He's won it 2-3 times. The next guy from H2O is going to keep going. Richard Ho, I mean, I hope he gets a cut because he's just going to get rich over the years. He's going to get.
He'll be called Richie Ho.
Yeah, Super Richard Ho, like Super Rich Ho, because the guy is going to be making millions of dollars if he gets a cut, out of the guys that he keeps churning out. That gym is, let me tell you, the H2O gym is full of killers right now. The Montreal MMA scene, the Montreal grappling scene, full of killers all over the place. Homa is a killer gym. TriStar, of course, always there.
BTT,
H2O,
everybody.
BTT, Glenn's team, the
We have
Henzo
amazing
Gracie
gyms
team,
here.
doing really well. Of course, 10th Planet, my jiu-jitsu school. Just so many.
There's so many, man.
Great jiu-jitsu clubs and great MMA fighters and everything around this city. It's such a hotbed, and it makes me so proud to know that this is the fight capital of this country. Like, other places have good fighters, but if you want to really come to the capital of Canada for fighting, it's Montreal, and it's not even a discussion, right? Like, there's there's guys that come out of BC and Alberta and the Maritimes and Ontario, and there's tons of talent everywhere, The Team Tompkins gym in Ontario that did great stuff, and they continue to do great stuff with Mark Hominick and Sam Stout and that whole team. Chris Hordeski, tremendous team out there, legendary team. But I think most people around Canada that understand would agree that Montreal, it's kind of the hotbed. I mean, people go to TriStar from all around the world, and because of that, people kind of branch out and go here and go there. And it's, the boxing scene in Montreal has always been very strong. It's just
judo scene.
The Montreal Wrestling Club as well
Montreal
is
Wrestling
like
Club
a hub
Victor
in Canada for wrestling.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's
Muay Thai as well. We have like great Muay Thai schools. Apex, competing like some championship. Angry Monkey MMA, another one throwing out some champions. I mean, you're right. I was talking about this actually today about how Montreal. It was a guy who came from Toronto, came to see me because he does jiu-jitsu and whatnot. And just young kid, hopefully he excels. Wants to get into the MMA scene. But I was talking with his dad, and I said, Montreal, man, when you look at it. Even when it was in its hotbed, when TriStar was really at the top of the game with a lot of fighters, still they are.
They still are.
But outside of TriStar, there's so many different clubs. You look at judo, you got Shidokan with Nicholas Gill that went to the Olympics. You've got the Grant brothers out in the West Island that were fighting in the Olympics and pro boxing. Okay, we'll go way back. Okay, the Hiltons, that was a different story, but at one point they were champions. So the Montreal fighting scene, if you look as far back to the 70s, man, Jean-Yves Thériault, the Iceman, there's so many killers, man. Karate scene with André Gilbert, there's so many guys that were a stronghold of the martial arts scene, and a lot of it came out of Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, man, it's a great place for fighting, and we're in a good spot. It's a nice hometown to have when it comes to fighting and professional wrestling. It's a rich history in martial arts, boxing, and pro wrestling. And we live it and breathe it every single day, right? That's just who we are. That's how we operate.
Yep.
This city has produced us, and we are fight people. It's what we do. And I will be back here tomorrow night with my main man, Johnny North, to talk about some professional wrestling. We'll talk about Darby Allin. We'll talk about Edge. We'll talk about Christian. We'll talk about Roman Reigns. And The Rock is going to be on SmackDown again tomorrow night. Oh, baby. The Rock is going to be on SmackDown tomorrow. And, AJ, we're going to that trifecta jiu-jitsu event next Friday.
Week.
It's not a quintet.
Yes, sir.
It's a trifecta.
It's going to be amazing, man. We're going to see some amazing talent there. And, Dave, you know what hit me right now? We always talk about the MMA scene here in Montreal, how amazing it is. But look at the wrestling scene. I'm going to say Johnny North, one of the most impressive wrestlers that I saw, not only because he's a friend, but when you look at the professional level with Kevin Owens and so many great athletes, man, that came out of here. Okay, Andre the Giant, even though he was from France, he was in Montreal and he lived here, man. And, there was so much Mad Dog Vachon, you name it, man. Just the wrestling scene itself, the pro wrestling side pumped out some heavy duty pros.
Of course. Even the great Samuel Zayn, who will be wrestling Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn winning a gauntlet match and apparently taking some heat online. People were not happy that Sami won. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Of course, the debut of Mercedes Moné finally debuting in AEW, formerly known as Sasha Banks. It's going to be hard for me to not call her Sasha Banks. But, I'll get used to it. I'll figure it out. And we will be
That's
back
gonna be hard.
tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown. Myself and Johnny talking all the pro wrestling. We got it going on right here on the Ringside Report Network. I want to thank all the members that joined us here in the chat tonight. I see Doug Hepburn, Angelo Contagonis, Jimmy James, Leor. And I think that's all I saw as far as members in the chat tonight. But I appreciate all of you guys supporting, everybody watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and become a member. Go to join.ringsidereport.net to support the channel, become a member, and keep us going strong and getting stronger every single day on the Ringside Report Network. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again